Greece isn't just ancient ruins and blue domes glowing above turquoise seas. It is a country shaped by fire, fractured by mountains, scattered across thousands of islands, and carved by water into one of the most geographically complex landscapes on Earth. Its terrain explains its mythology, its politics, its architecture, and even its worldview. From a coastline longer than China's to a mountain believed to house immortal gods, Greece hides layers of geographic wonder that rarely make it into textbooks. Here are 50 geography facts about Greece they never taught you, unfolding from its islands to its tectonic foundations, its climate, and the astonishing geographic truths that shaped Western civilization. Beginning with the islands, Greece possesses somewhere between 1,200 and 6,000 islands, depending on how one defines an island versus a rocky islet. Yet only 227 of them are inhabited, creating a mosaic of scattered communities separated by narrow channels of shimmering blue. Crete stands as the fifth largest island in the Mediterranean and served as the cradle of Europe's first advanced civilization, the Minoans, whose palaces rose thousands of years before classical Athens flourished. The Cyclades archipelago, famous for whitewashed villages and cube-shaped houses, was born from volcanic upheaval that reshaped the Aegean Sea in prehistoric times. Santorini is not merely picturesque, it is the surviving rim of a colossal volcanic caldera left behind after the Thera eruption around 1600 BCE, one of the most powerful eruptions in recorded human history. Greece's coastline stretches approximately 8,498 miles, making it longer than China's, despite Greece being roughly 74 times smaller in total land area, a staggering statistic that reveals how fractured and indented its terrain truly is. Rhodes lies closer to Turkey than to mainland Greece, demonstrating how the Aegean Islands form a bridge between Europe and Asia rather than a simple extension of the mainland. Corfu, located in the Ionian Sea, experiences lusher rainfall and greener landscapes than the arid Cyclades, proving that even within one small country, climate and vegetation can shift dramatically from island to island. The Dodecanese Islands sit along tectonic fault lines that continue to reshape the seabed below them, reminding visitors that the Aegean is geologically alive. Naxos, the largest of the Cyclades, rises with mountainous terrain at its center rather than flat beaches alone, revealing that many Greek islands are essentially mountain peaks, protruding from submerged ridges. Lesbos is so geologically unique that it contains a petrified forest, formed millions of years ago when volcanic ash fossilized ancient trees in place. Moving to geological forces, Greece sits at the convergence of the African and Eurasian tectonic plates, making it one of Europe's most seismically active nations and subject to approximately 10,000 earthquakes per year, though most are too minor to cause damage. Mount Olympus towers at 9,573 feet as Greece's highest peak and was revered in mythology as the home of the Olympian gods. Yet it is also a biodiversity hotspot containing alpine ecosystems rarely associated with Mediterranean imagery. The Corinth Canal slices through solid limestone rock only about 70 feet wide, physically separating the Peloponnese from mainland Greece and turning it into an island connected by bridges. The Vikos Gorge in the Pindus Mountains is considered one of the deepest gorges in the world, relative to its width, plunging dramatically into a limestone chasm that rivals far larger canyons. The Methana Peninsula is essentially a dormant volcanic complex, dotted with lava domes and hot springs, further evidence that Greek landscapes were forged by fire. The island of Milos owes its colorful cliffs and unusual rock formations to volcanic mineral deposits that created striking layers of white, red, and yellow stone. Santorini's caldera is partially submerged, creating steep black cliffs that drop into the sea, while the center holds smaller volcanic islands that continue to emit geothermal heat. Greece's mountainous backbone, the Pindus Range, runs roughly northwest to southeast in historically fragmented communities into isolated valleys, encouraging the rise of independent city-states instead of a unified empire. Lake Plastira, though artificial, sits high among these mountains and reveals how modern Greece still adapts to its rugged terrain. Meteora's towering rock pillars were formed by erosion millions of years ago and later crowned by monasteries built atop near vertical stone columns, merging geology with spiritual ambition. Turning to climate and biodiversity, Greece enjoys more than 250 days of sunshine annually, contributing to its Mediterranean identity and shaping agriculture from olives to grapes. The country contains over 6,000 species of wildflowers, more than any other European nation, due to its varied microclimates and island isolation that encouraged unique plant evolution. Greece is the only European country where loggerhead sea turtles regularly nest, particularly along protected beaches in the Ionian Sea. The Samaria Gorge in Crete stretches roughly 10 miles through rugged terrain and is one of Europe's longest gorges, attracting hikers who descend from alpine pine forests into Mediterranean scrubland. Despite its small size, Greece contains alpine zones in the north, semi-arid landscapes in the south, fertile plains in Thessaly, and dense forests near the Bulgarian border. Northern Greece experiences snowfall during winter, with ski resorts operating in mountainous regions that contrast sharply with sun-baked islands just hours away. The Evros Delta near the Turkish border serves as a crucial migratory bird sanctuary, where thousands of species pass between continents. Olive trees thrive across rocky hillsides because their roots anchor into thin soil, allowing agriculture even where terrain appears inhospitable. Crete contains palm forests that resemble North African landscapes more than European ones, illustrating Greece's climatic bridge between continents. The Aegean winds, known as the Meltemi shape, sailing routes and cool summer heat, demonstrating how geography directly influences daily life. Culturally and historically, Athens has been continuously inhabited for over 3,400 years, making it one of the world's oldest living cities and a testament to how geography sustained settlement in a rocky basin surrounded by mountains. The Acropolis has served as a citadel, a church, a mosque, and even an ammunition depot, reflecting how strategic elevation defines its purpose across eras. Delos was once considered so sacred that ancient laws prohibited birth and death on the island, transforming geography into ritual space. Greece contains 18 UNESCO World Heritage Sites, many positioned in locations chosen for defensive or spiritual prominence. The country's peninsular structure includes the Peloponnese, Chalkidiki with its 3 prongs, the Attica region, and the Mani Peninsula, each shaped by mountain ridges that funnel human movement along narrow corridors. The mountainous terrain of ancient Greece prevented large-scale centralized governance, encouraging independent city-states like Athens and Sparta to develop distinct identities. Thessaly's fertile plains, by contrast, supported agriculture and horse breeding, demonstrating how pockets of flat land influenced economic specialization. The island of Delos sits almost exactly in the center of the Cyclades, symbolically reinforcing its mythological importance as the birthplace of Apollo and Artemis. Mycenae's citadel was built atop a hill surrounded by steep terrain that offered natural defense long before advanced fortifications were common. Even the layout of Greek temples often aligns with surrounding mountains or coastlines, integrating architecture into the natural environment. Among the most astonishing reveals, no point in Greece is more than 85 miles from water, ensuring that maritime culture defines national identity. Greece reportedly has more archaeological museums per capita than any other country, reflecting the density of historical remains embedded in its soil. The Peloponnese contains entire ghost towns, abandoned after wars or economic shifts, preserved as echoes of geography's influence on survival. Mount Athos functions as a monastic republic within Greece, occupying a remote peninsula where geography enforces centuries-old traditions. The country's irregular borders reflect natural features like rivers and mountain ranges rather than arbitrary lines. Greece's rivers are relatively short compared to those in larger European countries because mountains channel water quickly toward the sea. The Aegean Sea contains underwater mountain chains that connect islands like stepping stones across submerged ridges. Crete's southern coastline faces Africa and receives warmer winds from the Sahara, occasionally dusting the island with desert sand. The Ionian Islands experience stronger Italian cultural influence due to their western exposure and historical Venetian rule shaped by maritime geography. The Nestos River Gorge forms a natural border region that once limited invasions. The ancient Greeks understood Earth's curvature long before modern science confirmed it, and around 240 BCE, the mathematician Eratosthenes calculated the planet's circumference with remarkable accuracy using shadows and geometry. And once you understand its geography, truly understand it, you begin to see that nothing about its history, mythology, or influence on the world was accidental. It was written in the mountains, whispered by the sea, and carved by the restless earth beneath it.